guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Crusader Kings 2, Eastern Roman Empire. And where we last left off, we were getting ready to attack the Seljuks, or them guys who turned into Turkey in the 1920s. And yeah, we was basically just trying to figure out which hunk of land I want to go after. So currently, these guys are in 3 wars. So they're at war against the Muradids here for the Kingdom of Syria, which is a big chunk of land right in the middle here. We've also got a war for Lahore and a host war on Mesopotamia. So they're definitely facing some problems. Now, I'm thinking if I were to go in the middle here, Edessa would be the place to go, I believe. Would it be Edessa that we want? Yeah, because that's going to get us those 3, basically. Or we could go for Aleppo. I think actually Aleppo was the one I was thinking of, because that's pretty much complete. We cut Arka off there. And, you know, just get a good chunk of land going in the middle of things. Or we've also got another tempting location here, which is Tabaristan, which goes out to here before we move into other locations. Now, what's nice about this is if we take a look, the provinces are fairly rich, especially Dalam here. That's looking pretty darn good, but the other ones are no slouch either. Of course, I believe Edessa or Aleppo here would probably wind up netting us some more moolah. And yeah, or we could press claims just for the little one provinces here. So the last little bit of Antioch or the last little bit of Mesopotamia that is owned. But I think Aleppo is going to be the right bet here. Plus, with the Muradids leading a probably successful campaign against the Seljuks for the Kingdom of Syria, if we can sneak in and sort of snag Aleppo for ourselves, that'll be a big chunk of the kingdom that won't go to the Muradids. Which is important because, you know, as much as I like beating up the Seljuks, eventually these guys aren't going to be our target, and it's going to be the Muradids. Especially now in the comments, thank you for pointing it out, that if the Ottoman Empire, or I would imagine, not the Ottoman Empire, wow, it's hot. So it's about 31 degrees again today, and my apartment is scorching. So I'm going to blame that little slip on the heat. If presumably any Orthodox nation, if they were to claim Constantinople and Jerusalem, I believe are the 2 cities that you need, then bingo, bango, bongo, the Orthodox faith get themselves a handy holy order. The Order of the Holy Sepulchre, or something like that. Anyway, so that is good news, but, you know, by then, we've done, I guess, a fair amount of fighting against the infidels, but there's still going to be a ton left. So, I guess we should slowly work towards getting Jerusalem. Step 1 in that is to knock out the Seljuks. So, I think it's going to be Aleppo, which is going to be good. So let's go ahead and declare war, a holy war for Aleppo. Wonderful. All right. Now, we could call in the King of Castile, who would join. It looks like 345, 345. It's a coin toss. We don't need the King of Castile to join us. And, well, he tends to call us into every little war that he's fighting. We're the Byzantine Empire. We do not need to do the same. So let's just move some armies there. We can move these guys up over here. Let's just keep making sure. Okay, good. And then we can move all of the Western forces into Constantinople. And I'm liking this. My vassals, they got some decent numbers when it comes to troops, which is always appreciated. Now we got a ton there. I'm not sure we'll be able to get enough levy boats raised to do this. Oh, we will be able to. Okay, good. Embark army, let's head there. Embark army, let's head there. And then we can sync up those two guys together. And finally, we'll grab these guys, put them on a boat, and I think send them down into Trapezos here. And get them to march over into that army. So, we should be... Oh! Forgot about Malta. How silly of me. There we go. You can go over there too. We'll actually get those guys involved. We're getting the entire military of the Empire set and ready to do this. So, should be a good time. We can go ahead and set this up to speed 3. There's no need to keep it going at speed 1. That is just redonkulous. And we got that there, so now we can move them up, and we can go ahead and disband those ships. I am sure my vassals will be pleased. Alright. Now, just from the islands here, we have been able to amass... Come on, give me all my boats. Let's merge them together. We've been able to amass quite a force here. Embark that army, and we'll send you, I guess, probably over here into Dolce, or however you pronounce it. It's probably not Dolce. That sounds a bit too Italian. And... so we can see the host army there, who we're not aggressive towards, so that is... a good thing. We'll go ahead and move that army up over yonder. And one last thing I want to do, while I am remembering, let's find where... There we go. I knew you'd show up. Resign. No leading troops for you, Emperor. You're just not good enough at it. The construction work being done in Constantinople is coming along well under the meticulous eyes of a master builder, who has taken me under his wing and is teaching me all he knows about constructing buildings. This knowledge will greatly help me in my work. Wonderful. I don't think we're building anything, though, so, you know. It's good news, I guess, but it's not really, necessary news? That's a silly thing to say. Okay, so we got this set ready to go, and I guess we can get rid of these fleets as well. Again, keep the vassals happy. And let's get some decent leaders in this army. Nothing really cavalry focused. So we'll go ahead and put Nicoferius in the middle, and we can slap Oser there. And the Count of Albania there. And that should be good for an initial assault into Seljuk lands anyway. Nope. And I don't even think that that's the land we want to take. So how about we go there and then head on in and take care of those 500 men waiting basically to die. All right, we got those guys. No, so we can put the captain of the Varangian Guard in charge there, and we can put Manuel there, and we can put Theo, this guy. We'll put Theo there. And we are now slowly coming down to the point of not exactly having the best leaders money can buy. For the 22,000 men who will be coming along from Constantinople. So let's just put Theo there. Okay, and oh, well, we got quite a few organizers and cavalry leaders and things like that. So let's find our biggest stack of cavalry. That would definitely be the middle. And then putting Theo there, we can put the organizers on either side. Like so. And now, the big Imperial army is ready to go to Melitene there. And take care of, you know, any sort of troops we might have to face. Not interested in creating any kingdom titles, so we won't even bother with that. And I guess what we could do here is just sort of split things up a bit and select this Byzantine army. See if we can't march these guys and get some other leaders in. Those guys are on the march. So, I guess we'll just do this, and that. And that should be good. And we'll just have to keep our eye open, make sure no Seljuk armies come along looking to do some fighting. Oh, it looks like the one piece of Scottish land down there has indeed become the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Not sure how that works without owning any land in Jerusalem. Well, I guess Galilee is technically a part of the kingdom, so there you have it. I think it's a hopeful naming, though. Besides, we all know who's going to wind up taking Jerusalem, and it's not going to be Scotland again. Well, they might again. You never know. You never can tell. Let's split these guys up, take you, and send you over there. And yes, we are taking attrition, but, you know, I'm going to leave the armies split like this just so I've got some sort of an effective fighting force in case I need it. The last thing I want to do is have, you know, stacks of 2,000 men sitting everywhere and have to face down 20,000. It's rumored that a great warrior from the distant east is currently passing through Constantinople. He is said to have taken part in 100 battles or more, and his legendary fighting skills are supposedly without peer. Well, we must find this man. We must find him, and he shall teach us. The medieval equivalent of wax on, wax off. You, sir, what do you fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Azerbaijan? If I remember correctly, as my voice squeaks loudly, such things are already owned by somebody else. So, you, sir, well, let's just go back to there. You are going to end your plot. So... perfect. Now, it looks like this host fight here, in all, is going to be quite successful. Which is good. So what this means is, you know, once they get to be victorious, we'll just have another target to go after that we don't have a truce with, and that we are presumably a religious enemy of. I believe that 2,000... stack is going into Al Jazeera here. Or Al Jazeera. Yeah, that's got to be Al Jazeera. Again? No. End your damn plot. It's not going to happen. If you try it again, I might just arrest you, provided we're not at war with anybody. Yeah, well, next month I have a feeling you're just going to go back to plotting, so... color me concerned. Excellent. The Caliph of Cairo is enjoying our diplomat, which is always a good thing. What do we got going on there? Well, that's just, yeah. That's... I do feel kind of bad for the Seljuks, I've got to say. History... this version of history does not favor them as much as the original, the real history, if you will. Look at all these, look at all that. Just bam, 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 bam. Siege is done. What do we got? Are you gonna give up? Vassalizes lords of his religion and takes all other titles in the satrapy of Aleppo. Beautiful, thank you. Okay. So, let's get our forces into friendly lands here. And let's figure out how on earth we're gonna divvy up all these new titles. The usual way, of course. Let's find vassals with a high opinion of me. You, sir, how's your family looking? So we've got the heir to the Duchy of Antioch. And we've got you. Let's just make sure this guy does indeed have a son. Good. So Andreas Communus here. No titles. I think the County of Assas should be a fairly good start for you, sir. Do enjoy. Well, I guess that joke only works if I make him a do. It doesn't work if I just make him a count. Lesson learned. All right. Well, that was one. And let's Certainly took a while. 12-year-old. It would be kind of nice to have a younger lord, but you know what? 12 is a little bit too young for my tastes. You, sir, you're looking young enough. Your skills, however, don't really show much potential for leadership. If I could remember where you were, I would keep you in mind. Ah, now here we go. We've got a charismatic negotiator who's already got a child. You look like you're ready to run some land. How about Palmyra? That sounds like a great place for you to go. County of Palmyra. There you go. How lovely. Let's check some of the islands here. You've got kids, but they're far too young. What about a brother of yours? Now, you are not set really to inherit anything. You do have kids. You're all set and ready to go. And you look fairly decent. At least decent enough to be a count. So how about the Count of Homs? Perfect. We like that. All right. Now, you are 14. You are probably going to actually turn out to be fairly decent. Humble, kind, temperate, gregarious, and just. We are going to give you Aleppo. And in a moment, once we get the last of the counties assigned, there we go. I think we just got one left. We've got Hama here, which is it. So we just got to find one last person for Hama. What about you? 3 daughters. It's not going to help for what I'm doing. People are too young. Oh, well, here we go. Heir to the duchy. Magisterios. What about your other guy? Well, you know what? It's important to make sure family does well. We're not giving him too much power. He is a mastermind theologian, so at least, you know, some sort of religious things. Basically my only thinking there. Count of Hama, there you go. Grant lower titles. And now you, sir. I believe we are going to have to usurp this title. So let's go back to the province view. Find Aleppo and usurp that title. Thank you very much. And you, sir. Grant landed title. The Duchy of Aleppo. Include all lower titles. Don't disappoint me, kid. You should turn out great. I hope. Well, there we go. Imperial duties sorted. I guess we could just start sending these guys home if they're inland already. Perfect. 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 There we go. All right, we've got all that sorted. We can resign you from ruling the retinues. And there we have it. My prisoner. Yes, you, my dear. Let's see. Prisoners. My. We do have a lot of you. Okay, yeah. Let her rot. Thank you. And there we go. And there we go. And we got an existing diplomatic deal waiting to go through. Thank you. So now we can send you and get some more money. And I think that's it as far as prisoners are concerned. This guy looks like he was... Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just banish these guys. And banish. There we go. May have got some money from that banishment. I'm not totally sure, but, you know, time will tell. There we go. All right. So, I'm leaving the retinues over here. Oh, dear. Okay. Well, but we got tons of kids now, right? So, Ducas here. Ducas. He's not even technically my real son. Great. Well, the world doesn't know this. So, we'll roll with it. He's your son, goddammit. Okay, so that's a shame. Anyway, I'm leaving the retinues here in case this host war wins. Although 12,000 troops against 5,500, the numbers aren't really with me. But if the host war does win, then we can just swoop in and take their land, is basically the plan. Check on the religious conversions. We've got that last Sunni province over there going. And then, of course, we're going to have a bunch of these to deal with. Although it looks like Assas here was already Orthodox, so good news there. And then that should be about it. We got some more things to deal with, but that's fine. My spouse, Belicia Judita, has humiliated me publicly. She kissed her lover in public, and now everyone knows about their adulterous affair. We could bear it stoically. We got plenty of prestige to spend, so that's not all that big of a concern. Although we do get a 10% chance of becoming Craven, which is not a good trait. Although at the age of 52, I don't know if anybody would really care about that. Arrest her lover. We can lose 10 prestige, and basically everyone's opinion of me drops by 25 for 2 years. That's not all that great. Arrest her. Less people would be pissed at us. And if we arrest both of them, basically every vassal is going to be ticked. So, it seems, you know, kind of like an abuse of power to arrest people basically for having an affair. Granted, it is the medieval period, but I'm just going to bear it stoically. And, of course, request a divorce. Because, that just ain't cool, lady. Alright, so welcome back to wherever you came from. Time to find a new wife. It seems pointless at this stage, though. We've got plenty of children to take the throne if, you know, you need to. If we need to. Including my wonderful daughter here, who is, of course, married in a matrilineal marriage to the Duke of Alanya, which is basically half of the Kingdom of Georgia. So that wouldn't be too bad if she wound up ruling, if I'm honest. But, as you can see, we'd have to get rid of Ducas first, which, you know, I mean, that could potentially be a thing to do. I'm going to have to mull that one over while I sit here in the heat thinking. My prisoner, Zara, is complaining about her dark cell in a dungeon. Too bad. Honestly, at this stage, I wouldn't mind a dark cell in a dungeon. It would be nice and cool. Okay. Educate you. Who are you? And critically... yeah, I think you would be the best bet. Grey Eminence, temperate, brave, ambitious, all those wonderful things. Send them. So let's just see. Are there any good political marriages we can get? Not really. Is there any sort of way to get in the throne here? Not really. Well, I guess we could marry a sibling if they weren't already married. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. So we're going to have to ride that out. It's a shame, but it is what it is. And I just want to keep my eye on this host war. Because if we can grab, you know... heck, if we can grab just a chunk. They managed to take Mosul, and we're able to take Mosul from the host. That's a win. 2 people eloped, got married without anyone's consent except their own, and it falls to me as their liege to either accept the marriage or do something about it. Ah! So now, my dear ex-wife and her lover friend have decided to elope. Now this is, I'm going to assume, against the laws of the land, so we're going to order them seized. She fled, and she fled. But it certainly sounds like we got some money out of the deal. That is good news. Let's see what we can spend it on. We could get a castle shipyard, but to be quite honest, the improvements, you know, getting extra galleys, I prefer using my vassals' galleys. So, you know, that's a thing. I am thinking perhaps it would be a good idea to save up. Although, no, that would be a university too. So let's just see here. We could put a university in Hurion. Mustering grounds. That would probably be a good thing to get. 'Cause, you know, I mean, that could potentially be a thing to do. So let's just see here. We could put a university in Hurion. Mustering grounds. That would probably be a good thing to get. Mustering grounds. Church town. That would increase tax. Let's get some more tax revenue out of these lands that I own. Can probably snag one more thing. Nope. Okay, well, we'll get some more tax revenue out of the Bishopric of Constantinople and Blachernay. Some more money is always a good thing. And... aha! Oh, excuse me. Looks like the host war here was successful. I think Mosul here is going to be the best bet. Is independent. Oh, well, I guess... oh my, look at Mesopotamia. They've got chunks of land. All right, well, let's just take a look at what your troops are like. 15,000. Also, that's nothing. Nothing. Where are you? Way over here. I can safely say Mesopotamia is probably going to get absorbed by certain groups. And I'm going to be the first one. Holy War for Mosul. Let's just check. You are Sunni. And these guys should also be Sunni, if I am correct. But we do have a truce with them, so they shouldn't exactly be able to come along and defend. And then my good friends, the Muradids, are Shia. They shouldn't intervene either. Yeah, this should be a fairly easy war to win. Declare war. Holy War for Mosul. Send. So we've got 11,000 men rising up against us. We're not going to have to worry about calling in any of our allies. So let's go ahead and get these guys started on their march. Now, for a war this size, really, we probably don't need any of our Western armies. Can you make it across? You can. But what we certainly don't need are any of these island armies. That is for true. Including you, Malta. Though I appreciate your appearance last war. There we go. And we can get everybody over here. Can I ignore? No. Everybody over here to just kind of come on into Constantinople. Alright. Fairly standard mobilization orders. And we should have enough men to take care of the minor forces that they've raised against us. And then we can sort of start closing the trap around the remaining lands of Mesopotamia and the Seljuks, which is exciting. Because, like I say, once we're able to secure this land for ourselves, we should be in a fairly strong position going further. And yeah, it's certainly looking like, you know, we're going to be... I guess there's two options here. I want to avoid going to war with the Muradids for as long as I possibly can, but that is... why did... keep going this way. Thank you. Not sure why I only had one of you selected. Ah, that must have been the island armies of Naxos. That's fine. Alright, so we've definitely got the numerical superiority here, and we will quickly have the military leader superiority going on here too. Our generals can't be bested. Bold claim, I realize. Okay, well, we'll slap you in. And we'll just have you guys sitting over here ready to assist, but I have a feeling the army of Du Nicofurius here will be able to crush any and all resistance we happen to face. You know, of course they wouldn't be still fighting the host war. It's quite obvious they lost that war. So let's just march Nicofurius here into the region of Kurdistan. Get ready to march south into Mosul. to take on those 12,000 men. Okay. Yay! Is that... No, there's still Sunni. Alright, just keep marching south. We're taking attrition, so we should get to the fighting as quick as we can. And I should have come in from Omarai instead of Kurdistan. But, no! Ugh, damn these misclicks. Man, we are just shedding troops. Woo! 15,000 men? That is not a lot. Okay. Let's check to see what we're going to need. Keep castle walls. That's good. Or the castle infrastructure, castle town, cataphract training grounds, and stables. It's going to be one of these two. And we can see none of the gears are turning. So we might as well get some free stuff out of that. University 2 is also tempting. Even just to get the 25% city tax is nice. We got nothing we can do in military, and we can only do tolerance and religious customs. Oh, and popular customs. Let's go with tolerance, because it's pretty evident we're going to be conquering a lot of lands. And then do I want castle infrastructure or I think we're going to go with improved keeps on that one. Beautiful. Keep it going. Let's make this the smartest empire the world has ever seen. Alright, well, thankfully, we've got a number advantage, and as you can clearly see, our military leaders cannot be beat. Well, okay, our military leaders can be beat. And you guys are headed for Al Jazeera. We will follow. Well, we use the rest of our armies here to set up a nice siege. Okay, we can split that in half, and we will select this army and send it south. And I could put better commanders in charge, but you know what? It's, not that critical for me, if I'm honest. There we go. Now you're heading to Sinjar, I would imagine, so we will follow. Where are you headed to? Down south there. Well, you can stay there. We've got all the lands we want sieged. And now it's just a matter of, you know, finishing it off. Letting our war score tick upwards, upwards, upwards. Okay, my lovely daughter shall be educated. Sure. Why not, ecumenical guy? What is she up to? Where is she anyway? Oh, she fled there, did she? Wonder why you're harboring my ex-wife. I'm on to you, do. I think it's safe to say I'm not going to win any awards for clean borders in this episode, but, you know, at least we're getting land. After a long search, you find the fabled warrior you had been looking for at a local inn. Reeking of spirits, the old man is soundly asleep under a table. His sword is of an unfamiliar make, and the man's appearance certainly betrays his Eastern origins. But could this really be the legendary fighter you seek? The innkeeper will not let him leave until someone pays his bill. I'll pay. 50 ducats. Man, he drank quite a lot. As the old man struggles to recover from his hangover, you explain in a quiet voice your quest to improve your martial ability. You ask if he would teach you. He breaks into laughter and winces from the headache this produces. Then it dawns on him that you aren't joking. Very well, Zenobia-san. I promise teach, you promise learn. I say you do. No questions. You've got a deal. I've got to wonder if I'm calling him an old man at the age of 53. This dude must be fairly ancient. Huh. So... Oh no, I guess the blood sign is covered up by the... Okay. I was gonna say, this dude isn't my... The game knows Dukas isn't my heir, but no. The crown just covered up that blood drop. The old warrior from the east has settled down in your castle, and your training is proceeding well. One day, as you walk into his room, you see the man trying to catch a fly with a pair of small wooden sticks he insists on using whenever he eats. You inquire why, and he explains, "Man who catch fly with chopsticks accomplish anything." It doesn't make any sense. And it's not true. Just because you can catch a fly with the chopsticks doesn't mean you could run a, continent-spanning empire, for instance. Alright, we're sitting at 80%. I would imagine these guys will agree to our demands sooner than later. You take a boat trip with your old warrior teacher on a nearby lake. As he fishes, you stand up in the boat and practice the moves he has taught you. The mental image of this is just amazing. When am I going to learn how to punch, you ask? The man rocks the boat and you lose your footing, falling into the water. You resurface to his roaring laughter. Learn how punch after you learn how keep dry. You all wet behind ear. This lesson is going to go on for a long time. As you can see, we definitely need some improvements in our military skill. Although, if I'm honest, he's looking a bit haggard, old Zenobias here. Not looking like the young, spry Basilios he was when he took the throne. As dusk falls after an intense day of sparring, you watch the setting sun from the castle ramparts together with your warrior mentor. "I teach you many things, Zenobia-san," your mentor says, "but most important lesson in fight is no get hit." The next morning, your training concluded. The old warrior has departed your castle. No one saw him leave. I suppose I learned something. Yeah, or he just had some crazy hallucinations. It's also a possibility. I don't know about Dukas here. He's not really shaping up to be all that he can be. We've got another daughter to marry off. Ooh, to Heinrich, Kaiser of the Holy Roman Empire. Why not? I think that is a match made in heaven. I doubt that'll work, but hey, it's always good to check off that button. One never knows. Huzzah, perfect. Yeah, that sounds just fine to me. Thank you, guys. We can go ahead and disband our forces. You can resign your command, good sir, and we will send you back to Constantinople. While we're sitting around, we've got Mosul, right? Okay, so that means we will have to create the title. Create the Duchy of Mosul. Thank you very much. And now we're going to need to find some more people to take over ruling the realm. Heir, not an heir. Right? And actually, this dude right here is going to become the Duke of Mosul. So we will grant you the County of Mosul. And we will get you some vassals as well while I'm at it. Nothing really going on there. Albania, I guess we could probably go and take one of these guys. You're a good warrior. Grant landed title. How about we give you Kurdistan, including all lower titles, and then we just need Sinjar. Too young. Too young. I think you're the heir, so that's just not going to happen. What do we got down here in Greece proper? Not much going on there. Naxos, even less. Although you do have a brother who's kind of sitting around not doing anything, and he does have children. He's a good steward. Congratulations. Theo, you're getting the County of Sinjar. And I do believe you are grant-landed title, Duchy of Mosul. Include all lower titles. You've got vassals now, sir. Congratulations. Well, that is wonderful. Tabriz. Beautiful. Let's take a look. We've got that going on nicely. I think the next spot we're going to go for is Gillian here. Or Gillen. I always want to add that extra I to it for some reason. I'm not sure why. But we will do that now. Proselytize out there. Thank you very much. And with all this wonderful conquest, I think this is going to be a great place to leave the video for today. Let's go ahead, find that, save. Alright guys, thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.